Welcome back to the big board. I'm having trouble actually using grown-up words today, so this might be a very brief video. Wanted to share with you what's going on. Turn 4, and we've got a nifty little situation where one of the air support areas, or air supremacy areas that we want to take control of as the Soviets is a little bit further inland, kind of north and west of Stockholm, basically. I'm going to pick up the camera and show you exactly where, so you can see for reference point. There's Stockholm there, and this is the zone we want to capture the control of in the air so that we can push missions to it, so that we can try and pick up some more VPs here if we can get through these hexes, or maybe through these guys here. We'll see. Who knows what's going to happen. But in order to do that, and before anyone panics and goes, oh, you're doing it wrong, I'm playing solo, so I'm doing everything on one air superiority area sheet versus 2. All of the red Warsaw Pact Soviet elements here are at extended radius, extended range. The acceptable range, or the range for air superiority, is 4 from your base. And if you're further than that, which is okay, you can go further, it's up to 8, right? But anything over 4, you're going to have a minus 2 on your combat and on your strike value. So that would become an 8, that would become a 0, if you can read that there. And obviously evasion doesn't change. I did confirm that, but it's also actually just written in plain English in the rules, so nice. They go into this yellow box on one shot, right? So this is air zone 16. So we will put the guys over here, and we'll put them all down in here because they are at extended radius. For NATO, since they're flying a much shorter distance, everyone was 4 or less. So on their chart, they would go into the green box, the standard combat radius, right? And then each team puts their units down, starting at box 1 in the order they want. And I like to mess around with this as the game player. I don't always put my best units to the left, right? I sometimes will move them down here, thinking, particularly when I'm playing opposed, that my opponent will put his crappy units down the end. And if I roll well with my best units against them, I will manage to knock out hopefully more of them than they will knock out of my weaker units, or my mediocre units that I might put up here. So when I do that, it's a little sort of jiggery pokery, I roll for the Soviets as to what they will do. And in this case, I said I will put all of my units on an even die roll down this end, and all of them down this end on an odd roll. I rolled 17, and so they're all going up here. Now, for NATO, I wanted to do exactly what I said I was going to do, which was really try and beat up on some of the potentially weaker units that were going to be present. And NATO also went all in on the air superiority here. They really can't afford to spread themselves too thin. And so the second air superiority zone that the Soviets chose was this one, and they have those units there that just underneath that air superiority number 10. And then they also responded to this air superiority zone here, the Soviets did, with a small handful of units there. But NATO, being the wily player that they are, said, hey, we need to obviously react to and respond to the push northwest, and so we're going to go all in on air superiority in that area. And that, if they get it, it's going to make it very hard for the Soviets to sustain their push inland and capture cities and urban hexes and airfields and things like that score points, and it will bode well for NATO. Now, of course, we can do intercepts and all that sort of fun stuff, but we've kind of stripped the field pretty bare of decent aircraft that can, do ground strikes and stuff like that. So we've got 1, 2, 3 units there that really ought to be executing ground strikes as well as doing other things. but they'll be very valuable if it comes to the escorting. So when it comes to the escorting side of the equation for those limited number of units that I do have that can that can conduct strikes. And so it's all very interesting, and we're going to see how this all pans out. Information will be on the blog, probably pop some quick posts on Facebook as I have been doing as things progress, and we'll go from there. Talk to you soon. Roll those dice.